TeamLab Borderless sold out for weeks after reopening in Tokyo, and honestly, after going myself, I completely get it. This place is unlike anything else I've ever seen. TeamLab Borderless is a fully immersive digital art museum, but calling it a museum almost undersells it. There is no static pieces on walls, everything moves and responds to you. And honestly, it's a little overwhelming in the best way. The original location closed back in 2022, and it was in Odaiba. It reopened in early 2024 at the brand new Azabudai Hills precinct in Tokyo. This version is bigger and, in my opinion, a serious upgrade. We had tickets for one of the first sessions of the day, and unlike Planets, Borderless does not have a linear path that you need to follow, as some of the art pieces are, as the name suggests, borderless. Unfortunately, on the day that we were there, Bubble Universe was closed for maintenance, but we got to see everything else. The rock where people gather was created by reproducing the artwork in a three-dimensional space, hence the rock-like structure in the middle of the room. Water was then simulated to fall onto the rock to depict the movement of water on the rock's surface. The water is represented by a continuum of countless water particles, and the trajectories of the particles are then calculated. The walls and the floor on which the waterfall is depicted do not become a boundary between people in the work, and the space of the waterfall artwork is continuous with the space in which people's bodies are located. A lot of other pieces also move through this space, sometimes multiple at the one time. One that we experienced was moving creates vortices, and vortices create movement. This piece allows a person to move around the space and influence where the water's going, and the particles of the water actually influence you to where to move as well. As a person moves around the space, the water will move with them, but if a person stops or leaves, the flow eventually disappears or turns into a whirlpool around the person. This piece in particular was commissioned by the National Gallery of Victoria in Australia and was on display there in 2017 and 2018. Like I said earlier, multiple pieces can be in the same room at once, and some others that we saw in this room were artworks influence each other, transcending boundaries, and walk, walk, walk. They flow really seamlessly through the rooms and into the hallways, which means your experience isn't going to be the same as somebody who comes 20 minutes later, or 2 days later, or in a year from now. We then moved into the Memory of Topography room. This piece depicts memories of a timeless rural mountain landscape in a space with varying elevations that visitors can move through. The world of the artwork changes with the passage of real time. The budding rice plants will still be small in the spring, grow larger in the summer, and turn golden in the fall. As time passes, the flowers also change, and the gentle breeze moves in response to the behaviour of the people seeing the exhibit. We were here during the autumn, so we got to see the rice plants in a really nice golden colour. As you move through the piece, it definitely does feel like you are moving through a field in a weird way, and also you feel a lot more calmer than you were in the two previous rooms. Infinite Crystal World is something that might be familiar to those who have been to TeamLab Planets, as there's a similar exhibit there called the Infinite Crystal Universe. Here, light points are used to create three-dimensional objects. The light sculptures extend infinitely in all directions. People can use their smartphones to select elements to throw into the Infinite Crystal World, or you can use the element board in the corner of the room. The presence of people and their location within the work affect these three-dimensional elements, which in turn influence and are influenced by other elements in the space. Much like the Infinite Crystal Universe at Planets, this does have a mirror floor, so be mindful of that if you're planning to wear a dress or a skirt. Now this was one of my favourite parts of TeamLab Borderless. You get to sit down for a little bit and colour in your own sea creature. Paper and pastels are provided and you get to pick a design that you want to colour in. Once you're finished with your piece, you can hand it off and it will be scanned into the system and then added to the art piece. It's quite fun to watch them come to life, swimming out into the ocean in front of you together with the fish that have been coloured in by other people. If you touch the fish, they will swim away. You can also feed the fish, which is pretty cool to see. Sometimes the fish will leave the room and transcend the boundaries between the artworks and begin to swim away. I coloured a seahorse and Ben coloured a turtle. It was fun to watch them swim around the room and interact with other people's pieces of art and trying to work out how to interact with other pieces of art and seeing how touch changes their behaviour. You can also have your drawings turned into items like t-shirts or bags for an additional fee. TeamLab Borderless is in Azabudai Hills Garden Plaza in Toranomon. You can take either the Hibiya line to Kamiyocho Station, exit 5 of the station has a direct link to the building, or you can take the Namboku line to Roppongi Ichime Station. Both lines are part of the Tokyo Metro. This next space is home to 3 art pieces. Life is an ephemeral light that blooms in the dark. Dark waves, born in the darkness, return to the darkness. And universe of water particles. Masses of space-time exist in disarray and the space-times of each mass connect to each other. The room is set up with lots of cubes that stick out from the walls, so you do have to be very careful as you move around, because 90% of the time the room is also dark and you don't realise that there's people in front of you until they're very close to you. Also, so you don't hit your face or yourself into one of the cubes that are sticking out from the walls. It's nice just to stand there and watch the 3 pieces cycle through the room, and how the space can change quite rapidly depending on the piece. NT House offers a cup of green tea and green tea ice cream, as well as a visual experience. The menu is limited to 8 items, all of which contain green tea. Once seated, the staff will bring out your order, but don't start drinking or eating yet. Allow them to sit and see what grows from them. NT House does cost an additional 600 to 1300 yen depending on if you are just getting a tea or you want the ice cream as well. Whilst I enjoy green tea, Ben does not, and he was pleasantly surprised to find he enjoyed both. And we both agreed that this was absolutely worth the additional cost. NT House can be booked when you book your tickets for TeamLab Borderless. If it's already sold out for the day, you can check on the day to see if there's any availability. The next piece we saw was Microcosms, Beyond Borders. This artwork explores the question, can a universe be created by components that are spatially and temporarily separate, but where different orders are formed and overlap as a whole? The room is lined with tracks that glass spheres travel around, catching the light. TeamLab Borderless is open between 8:30 AM to 9 PM and will have listed on their website any days that they are closing early or are just closed for the day. Tickets can sometimes be available on the day, but to avoid disappointment, I do highly recommend booking in advance, especially if you want to visit early so you can avoid the crowds. Tickets go on sale 2 months in advance and are only officially available through the official TeamLab's ticket store and Klook. If you purchase your tickets through Klook, make sure you use the code BECKTRIESKLOOK for an up to 10% discount, and you'll also be helping the channel. This is not a sponsored video, it's just that I am an affiliate with Klook. Borderless is an incredibly enjoyable, immersive art experience. Whilst it does have some similar elements to planets, and there has been complaints about that online, I feel that they are completely different experiences. The space is used incredibly well, and the ability to interact with some of the art pieces and influence their actions and movements brings an added element of joy to Borderless. That being said, TeamLab Borderless is not for everyone. If you've been to other immersive art experiences or another TeamLab piece, you will know if this is right for you or not, in that if you didn't enjoy them, you won't enjoy this. And that's totally okay. Not every exhibition, not every tourist attraction, theme park, etc., regardless of whether it's in Japan or other parts of the world, is going to be liked by everyone, or you're going to enjoy it 100%. But that is something to keep in mind, because I see a lot of people, as well as the critique of it being similar to planets, is that I don't like these experiences, so therefore I don't recommend you come to them. And sometimes I think you just need to make your own judgments with that. As a Tasmanian, and knowing that pieces by TeamLab do often travel the world, and there is several in Australia, or that have been commissioned by Australian art galleries and museums, I would absolutely love to see one of TeamLab's pieces at Dark Mofo. I think it would be incredibly popular with those who attend, whether they are familiar with TeamLab or not. If you're not familiar with Dark Mofo, it is an art and food festival with a bit of music kicked in there too, that runs for 2 weeks in June every year and officially finishes with a nude swim at one of the local beaches on winter solstice. But anyway, they are my thoughts, and let me know in the comments below if you want me to do a comparison video of Borderless and Planets, because we've been to both. Also, while you're down in the comments, make sure you leave a like or a hype if you have the ability to do that. Both help the channel a lot, so I really appreciate it. If you've stuck around this long into the video, thank you very much for watching, and I hope your adventures are amazing.